The way of music along the Silk Roads. There were many instruments and songs that traveled along the Silk Roads with the travelers. Music was a form of cultural diffusion by sharing songs other cultures hadn't heard of. This map shows instruments and the places that they originated from along the Silk Roads. The Silk Road Ensemble played music on the Silk Roads. The pilgrims and traders absorbed the music through the Silk Roads. Many people from different countries and many religions were able to connect on the Silk Road by using music. Mongols developed string instruments that were played with the horsehair bows. There are many types of instruments that could have been found along the Silk Roads, such as the pipa, the moonlute, the erhu, the shang, and the drums and cymbals. The erhu is an instrument similar to the violin because it has strings and is played using a bow. The shang looks like it has the folded wings of a mythological bird called the phoenix. The bawu is a wind instrument that comes from China. The bawu is shaped like a flute, but it has a free reed pipe with a single metal reed. Chinese musical instruments were traditionally classified into 8 categories known as the Beiyin. The 8 categories are silk, bamboo, wood, stone, metal, gourd and hide, and clay. There are other instruments which may not fit in these classifications. This is one of the first musical classifications ever. In this picture is a pipa, which falls in the silk category because of its twisted silk strings. This is a picture of a mouth organ. Mouth organs that were very similar to the shang have been mentioned in Chinese texts since the 14th to 12th century BCE. The tabla drums have been used in India since the 1700s. The first notes of the use of the pipa was in the 3rd century about the barbarians riding horseback and playing these instruments. The pipa was very popular in the Tang Dynasty from 618 to 907. The kamenkek was documented in texts that dated back to the 12th century CE. The erhu has been found in Chinese music that dates back to the 12th century CE. The earliest forms of the santur date back to the 1600 BCE in Iranian music. Some people would play music in bazaars, caravanserai, and tea houses, where audiences would gather to listen to the music. Here is a picture of a tea house. People would play their music or bring their instruments while they traveled along the Silk Roads. People brought their music with them through their travels. The city of Xi'an had many musical instruments. Xi'an was home to many musicians across Asia. In most Jewish, Greek, Turkish, Arabic, and Persian music, the notes are constructed using the Phrygian scale. The Phrygian scale is constructed by raising the 3rd degree of the Phrygian mode. The basic Phrygian mode is a regular C scale constructed using D flat, E flat, A flat, and B flat. Chinese music uses a 5-note scale instead of the more Western 8-note scale. Music is like a religion that was played on the Silk Roads. People brought their culture's music where they went, and people from a different culture would hear their music, and it was an instant cultural diffusion. They bring their faith and religion with them on their journey to different places using their music. The purpose of music was to entertain the people in front of different audiences on the Silk Roads. In this photo, you can see a modern-day group playing with the Silk Road style of music and playing as the musicians along the Silk Road would. Music was played for meditational purposes occasionally, to keep the travelers of the Silk Road motivated and continue to travel even though the path awaits them is so dangerous. Music was played. Drums and cymbals played important roles in the Tangara orchestras. Music along the Silk Road illustrates overarching regularities not only in the way it is physically produced, but also in the role it plays in society and culture. Important because famous musicians, such as Yo-Yo Ma, still base their musical styles and pieces on the origin of music back during the Silk Road times.